Everything we've done's led up to right now. Right now. Because legacy are full of legends. You can become a legend today, boys. Put your stamp on history. Put your stamp on a legacy. It is going to take all of us. All of us. Men, be not afraid. Do not be afraid to be a legend.
Welcome to OPA Podcast episode 20. My name is Jason. I'm one of your co-hosts.
I am Larranz Antoine Winfield, survived the Maryland game, Guider.
I'm Wyatt Oelkers.
And I'm Griffin. Antoine Winfield Jr. is the highest rated safety according to PFF, College Football Most.
And today we'll be recapping the Maryland game from last weekend. So any quick takes from the game?
Maryland looked like trash.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Minnesota keeps getting better, but Tanner Morgan keeps getting worse.
Big ope.
It's like the less we need him, the worse he becomes.
Like, his stats were he was 12 for 21 for 138 yards, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception.
Like, that's not bad. Like, if Mitch Leidner ever did that, we might build him a fucking altar.
True.
But for Tanner, it's kind of bad.
Excuse me, do you remember him throwing into triple coverage and then getting a touchdown to Shannon Brooks?
Okay.
Also, our freshman quarterback, Jacob Clark, is 1 for 1 for 39 yards.
That
Gary
dude's gonna be
Van
nasty.
Dyne.
That dude
dropped a dime. Good route. Good
dime.
ball. Good catch over the shoulder.
He
Good
just
footwork.
lost
Oh
it.
my god.
Oh, Jacob Clark, he's gonna be nasty.
It's like PJ Fleck knows what he's doing developing receivers. It's crazy.
I know, right? Also, Trayson Potts, like 10 yards of carry
Mm-hmm.
And a touchdown.
and a tutty. We love depth. Depth is nice.
Isn't he like our 6th string running back?
That is correct. Yes.
Oh boy.
Preston Jellin a little bit on the action. I think he runs kind of similar to Mo. Little short, stocky, but he'll run you over.
A runaway locomotive.
Runaway.
Precisely.
However,
Jacob Clark with the QB rating of 100.
Yep.
He's literally perfect.
However, Demetrius Douglas is off the bus again after fumbling that ball.
He didn't turn it over.
He didn't turn it over.
Still,
Yeah.
he off the bus.
He doesn't get put off the bus unless he turns it over.
I'm saying he is.
Well, I know that like we're enjoying shit talking Maryland as one should, but I think we have a game coming up soon that might be a little bit important, don't you think?
Nah.
Nah?
Yes. 11 a.m. kickoff on ABC at TCF Bank Stadium. Number 13, Golden Gophers versus the number 5, Penn State Nittany Lions.
The Lions of Nittany.
The Lions of Happy Valley.
The Lions of Nittany until otherwise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're all right.
They're only leading the country in sacks. It's fine. It's fine. Because Tanner has perfect pocket presence.
They're, freshmen and sophomore receivers are scoring most of their touchdowns, so that's fine. It's not like, we should be scared of them in the future or anything, It's just,
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. We're all fine.
It's not like KJ Hamler's a freaking beast.
I mean, we do have
Oh.
two. I mean, to be fair, we do have 2 wide receivers with more yards than him. Rashad Bateman's leading the country in yards per catch, but that's neither here nor there. I don't even know why I mentioned that.
But, remember, Larranz, Antonio Shelton will not be in this game. Penn State's defensive tackle.
Also, fun fact, if you add up the top 3 running backs' yards for Penn State, are you aware that it adds up to 889 yards exactly. Rodney Smith has exactly 889 yards.
Nice.
So we have 3 Penn State running backs and 1 running back.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
Wow.
Right? I know, right?
They must really be missing Saquon.
They really are. Well, they're doing a running back rotation, and each one of those running backs are like ridiculously highly recruited. But none of them have really like said, "This is mine. Hear me roar."
Oh, quick insert here. Georgia Southern is now up 16-7 against Appalachian State.
Yo, I would love that. I would love that to be their first loss.
Minnesota ain't played.
That could
anybody.
only help Minnesota.
Minnesota ain't played anybody. Back to this game.
I'm not done talking Maryland, though. This was just fun to watch.
I only got
talk.
5% on this phone.
Okay.
Go, Griffin.
Put that 72-yard pick six by Coney Durr.
Our secondary, just in general, just like, it makes me happy. Makes me happy.
I think the weakest part of our defense is our defensive line, but we still have such a great linebacker and secondary that we can limit those big plays, which is what has been keeping us successful this whole season. So, I mean, you look at the Maryland game, and you had Fleet Davis go down the sideline for 59 yards, but that was, really their only big play other than Leak's, 20 or 30-yard run. But Jordan Howden tackling in space, what a concept.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Other than those 2 plays, can you really think of any huge chunk yardage that Maryland got?
But also,
Kamal
was out, so Sorry Marin and Oliver stepped up.
And they put in work. And
they
we
put
love
in
that.
work. And Sorry Marin was also our leading tackler that game. So
I mean, there you go.
It also doesn't help when you punt for 100 or 279 yards. That's not going to help you win games.
Penn State, one of my bold predictions is one of these punts will get returned for a touchdown by one of these dudes. Because Maryland was like one ankle tackle away from hitting their head on the goalpost like 3 times. So our special teams is bad. It's very bad.
But they haven't lost us a game yet, so.
Yeah, that's because we were good enough. We were overpowering to our opponent enough where it didn't matter.
Any other key things that we should be made aware about of Penn State besides their, hot quarterback, good defense, and KJ Hamler?
I mean, it's not just a good defense. It is the second best defense in this conference. They are going to go hunting. That is what's going to happen. They are just going to just line up and say, go get Tanner. That's their entire defensive game plan. It's not about limiting big plays. No, it's about hurting the quarterback.
Like
and
us
also,
with Tyrell Pigram?
Exactly. But unlike the 2016 version of Penn State, which might be our only hope, this year's overpowered version of Penn State is a first-half team. Which is to say they score a lot in their first half, and then they kind of die in the second half, which is why Iowa and Pitt were able to make the game close.
So crucial halftime adjustments for us as well.
And so this plays in perfectly to Tanner's success in the third, fourth quarter, and overtime of games. I like it, Larranz. Thank you.
That wasn't supposed to be hopeful. That's to say, pray to God they're not up 34-14 at halftime. Because the one thing is, when I say they die, I mean their offense dies. Their defense, well, they get ignorant. They they defense come hunting. They, but yeah, no, this phone's about to go off. But my key to the game for Penn State, if we eventually get there, Jason, are we there yet?
What do you mean?
Keys to the game against Penn State.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, key to the game. Make it ugly, and if they're going to beat us, they're going to beat us running the ball. That's all. If they beat us running the ball, I'm okay. But they are not beating us with KJ Hamler. They are not beating us with Pat Firemuth. And yeah, that's me. That's my shtick.
And you want to give your score before you go off?
Yeah, 28-24 Penn State.
Wow.
Remember, we all tagged us losing to Penn State in the preseason.
Goodbye.
Night.
But Jason, you and I are the only ones 8-0, right?
No, you're the only one. I said we lose to Maryland.
Optimism's paying off so far. Oh, Larranz, rip.
Wyatt? Any keys and predictions?
Let's see. Keys to the game. I mean, I think the way that Penn State's played the last couple of weeks, we have to be ready to play a solid defensive battle. And we have to be ready to put up at least 28 points.
All right.
If we can't get to that 28-point threshold, we're going to have a problem.
You got a point. So what's your prediction then for the final score?
Let's say 31-21 Penn State.
Well, keys to the game is going to be ball control. Penn State will come at us, like Larranz said, hunting. For the Maryland game, we had the ball for 43 minutes. Maryland had it for 17. You see the results in the final score. I agree with the defensive battle, so as long as we can have time of possession, I think that's our biggest one, to make sure our defense gets the rest it needs to perform. Then we also need to run the ball effectively to get better clock management. And then, whip out the passes when we need to. Because I don't think Penn State is ready for our passing offense. I really don't. So, ball control, running, time of possession, and rest. I'd probably say score. Let's go. Gonna say it's gonna be a little bit more defensive, so we'll go 21-17 Penn State.
For me, I think it's going to be Tanner and our offensive line. Run blocking isn't going to be an issue because we're nasty again. It's just that Penn State's defense is not going to give up a big play. Like, again, a defensive battle. So I think if we are going to use the pass game to exploit Penn State, good pass protection, but also Tanner's pocket awareness, especially when he throws a ball. He did have a couple throws batted down near the line of scrimmage against Maryland a couple times. Again, attesting to his height difference, but again, he's pulled us out in some ugly games and helped us win in overtime or in the fourth quarter. So as long as we see that from Tanner being the best version of himself against Penn State, I think we'll be solid. In terms of my prediction, it's going to come down to probably a last-minute field goal. So I'm going to say Penn State beats us 24-23, and I hope we are all wrong, because our friends from Rutgers also hopes for us to win.
A brother found his charger.
Ha!
And
Welcome
we
back,
back.
Larranz.
And we back.
All right.
Sorry, what I missed?
Wyatt says it's gonna be a big defensive battle between both teams.
It's
Griffin
got to
said-
be a slugfest. We've got to turn it into a slugfest, and we've got to be the team that puts up 30 points.
You think we're going to put up 30?
I don't. But if we're going to win, we've got to.
Griffin said ball control.
Yep.
And I said Tanner needs to be his version, like Purdue, like good pocket awareness, and stop having balls get batted down the line of scrimmage at Maryland. So, yeah.
I mean, he really didn't have great pocket presence against Purdue. He was just slinging that thing so well it didn't matter.
All right. Moving on. So,
But
looking
I don't
at
know.
our predictions from the preseason. So, Wyatt, Larranz, and myself are 7-1, and Griffin is still 8-0 in his predictions.
Whoop! Optimism pays off.
Shout out to Griffin for having faith.
Yep. Hey, know this. Griffin has been to all the games we have won, including those away games. Think about it.
Griffin, you are truly a fan. We love this.
Hey, Maroon out, or Maroon Madness, for this game coming up too.
I don't care. Just get a dub.
Just get maroon out, gold out, purple out,
I'm going to be
yellow
there.
out. I don't care. I
Just want the dub.
just want to say, ooh, actually, I realized another underrated key to the game. Did y'all notice who was back just quietly? But I think he might be healthy again. Just quiet.
Never thought
Carter-
about it.
Carter Coughlin quietly was destroying Maryland. I think like both interceptions were because Carter Coughlin was going to kill their quarterback in like less than a half of a second later. Dude was eating. I'm like, if we could get that from Penn State, that would be greatly appreciated.
I don't know which game it was, but Tanner was about a split second away from getting absolutely destroyed if he didn't. Was it? I think maybe it was Nebraska on the pass to Tyler Johnson. If so, he was coming off the right side, and he was about to just absolutely destroy him if Tanner did not get that ball out. So, quick, decisive decisions from Tanner.
Quick
Because I don't-
take. Hang on. Quick take. Georgia Southern's now up 24-7. 10 minutes left in the third quarter.
Woo! That's going to help Minnesota so much.
Well, Minnesota ain't played nobody.
Also, Baylor's only up 7 at halftime against West Virginia.
Come on, West Virginia. We believe in you. Actually, no, I kind of like Matt Rule. I want to get to win Coach of the Year, so...
Actually, let's move on to some takes. Is it realistic for us to win the West?
Yes.
At this point, I would be bitterly disappointed if we did not win the West, given the position we're in.
It is realistic. It is not set in stone.
Of course not, no.
So, like, what's the bare minimum for us to win? I heard, like, if we beat the winner of the Iowa-Wisconsin game, and we beat them, are we in the West assuming we lose to Penn State and another team?
Well, here's the messed up thing. This is really messed up, and I will never say this again ever in my life. We are rooting. We should be rooting for Wisconsin to beat Iowa
What?
because
Here.
whoever wins this game between Wisconsin and Iowa is mathematically eliminated, or rather, whoever loses this game is mathematically eliminated from winning the West, right? And so, would you rather have to win the West at Kinnick, or would you rather have the X game decide the West? Because I know I
Honestly,
would.
you want my honest opinion?
Yes.
Give me ranked Iowa at Kinnick.
You really okay? Let me ask you this: if we beat Penn State, do you want it at Kinnick, or do you want Wisconsin here?
Is
If
Iowa
we
ranked?
if they
Yes.
lose to
19.
Wisconsin, they won't be ranked, and if we beat Penn State, we will be in the top 10. I
If
asked
Oh,
they
again.
lose to Wisconsin,
LeBron's. You think?
Yeah,
I think we're top 5.
we are top 10. We will be ninth because the AP voters, they don't care unless we like
We jumped 5
Maryland.
spots after I think Rutgers, and I thought we'd maybe move up 1 or 2.
Well, that's because so many
I,
people
this
lost.
this this is the prove it game for anyone in college football to say, are the Gophers legit for the non-believers?
Well,
So
okay, I think we move up 7, and the reason being is because whoever wins between Florida and Georgia is going to move up into the top 5. If Alabama loses to LSU, Alabama is going no lower than 6.
do you think how we win? Will how we win determine so if we blow them out, if it's another 52-10 game? Obviously, this is if, right? If this is 52-10, are we up to 5, or if it's
We're
uh,
6. We will be 6.
but if we only win by like a last second field goal, then we're only moving up a couple to like maybe 9 or 10.
Oh, we'll be like 9. I think like 9, 10, somewhere between
Right,
8
but
and 10,
will the
depending on
final
what
score
happens.
dictate how far we move up?
Yep,
Okay.
because it's going to be the difference between Minnesota pulled out a miracle in the biggest game in 50 years, or holy crap, we've been disrespecting Minnesota this entire time. That's the thing. So, like, my whole shtick is this: if we beat Penn State, we're winning the West. Reason being is because it really doesn't matter what happens between Wisconsin and Iowa. It really doesn't. We just have to beat Northwestern. That's it. Like, if we beat Penn State, it literally doesn't matter anymore because we're winning the West. But then my question to you all is: would you rather have game day for Penn State or game day for Wisconsin?
But isn't that rivalry weekend though?
Yep, and it might be the only rivalry where the division is in contention because Alabama LSU, it's not going to matter because Auburn, rather, Alabama Auburn, Auburn already has 2 or 3 losses, so Alabama would win the division no matter what. Michigan, Ohio State, assuming Ohio State beats Penn State at home with the Heisman winner, Chase Young. Uh, Assuming that they do that, then the East won't be up for contention. No one's going to Florida State, because why would you? No one wants to see Clemson, South Carolina. But in season 150, the last game day, going to the oldest rivalry in college football to determine the West. Yes, game day would come here.
I wouldn't argue with that. That's a fair, valid point.
Like, if Michigan didn't suck before this last weekend where they decided to play up to their talent, then obviously College Game Day would go to the big house. But because the West would be up for contention, so my question is, would you rather get game day for that game? Because we're not going to get game day over LSU and Bama. We're just not. Would you rather get game day for Wisconsin, or would you rather have already won the West and never have to see game day, and game day probably never coming to Minnesota again?
Win the West. I don't
Win
care.
the West.
I don't care.
Win the West. Win the West. Always. How dare you, Larranz?
New question. Would you rather pull off the biggest miracle in the history of sports, go to the Big Ten Championship, beat Ohio State, and go to the playoffs, or get shellacked by them and go to the Rose Bowl?
Shellacked.
I'm not gonna lie, shellacked. Wait, hold on. Hold on.
Taking.
Is the Rose Bowl one of
No,
the...
it's not.
I'm
Nope.
taking the playoffs.
It's shellacked.
Get shellacked.
I'm taking the playoffs.
Wait, hold on, Griffin. You want to see Bama? You want to see Bama?
Oh, you bet.
Oh, imagine when Bama players find out that they got a losing record against Minnesota. Imagine what would happen in this game.
Well,
we would die. They would eat us, Griffin.
Well,
no, I'm taking the Rose Bowl.
A lot of teams can't say they went there. Remember the last time we went 8-0 and we won the Natty? I know we were playing high school teams at the time, but I mean,
high school teams. And St. Thomas, homie.
Hey, 8-0 is 8-0.
You better stop. No, I would rather go to the Rose Bowl, play an overrated Oregon team, beat them, and take all their recruits.
Oh.
Plus,
just do it.
Plus, do you, with all the talks of the programs that are currently looking for PJ Fleck right now, I don't want to give him any more media attention.
He does that. He does that for himself, though.
I know. I don't want to give him any more deserved.
That's why
attention.
I don't want game day. I don't want anyone knowing who he is. I want him to still be. It's hard for him to be under the radar, but I want our program to stay under the radar. I just want to win and go home at night knowing that we're in good hands.
Did you know in terms of of all 14 coaches in the Big Ten for football, PJ is the 11th, in terms
salary.
For salary. Tom Allen from Indiana is 14. Think about it.
Wait.
It's almost like
What's
Nebraska and Purdue. Nunzy's making $10 an hour. It's almost like, just because you pay a coach doesn't mean they're going to give you results at Nebraska. Ooh, I don't even know why I just mentioned that. I don't. It's almost like they lost to Indiana at home. Do you know they hadn't lost to Indiana at home since the 50s? I don't know why I mentioned that. I don't.
Maybe because you're petty. I don't know.
Actually, low-key,
I might.
I'm rooting for the Hoosiers.
You know who I'm rooting for this weekend?
Yeah, they're quietly
Purdue.
6-2.
I am rooting for Purdue to run the table and play Indiana in the last game and get game day for Indiana versus Purdue.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Wait, what was your score? Did we all do score predictions?
Yeah, we all did score predictions.
Yeah.
Did any of us pick Minnesota?
Nope.
Well, look at it. Did anyone think it was going to be close?
Yeah, me.
What'd you say?
21-17.
Oh, that's about as close as I had it. I had it 24-28. What was your score, Wyatt?
31-21.
What was your score, Jason?
24-23, Penn State with a game-saving field goal.
I'm gonna say something because I just ate something and now I feel good about myself. I'm not saying we're gonna win, but the thing about Penn State is people talk about who we've played. Tell me, who have they played with a competent offense?
So we're not counting Michigan?
Oh, wait, watch this. We have a higher ranked offense than Michigan, and Michigan out-yarded Penn State by over 100 yards.
Michigan absolutely pissed away that game.
Very much so. So I'm going to say
I don't
this.
think Michigan's as good of a team as we thought they were, but
Also, Iowa
Michigan
pissed
should
away
have
that
beat
game
Penn
too.
State.
And look how incompetent Iowa's offense is. So tell me, who is the competent offense that Penn State has played at all this year? Or rather, who's the offense that they played who can hit them back?
So
The
okay.
closest they had was Michigan.
Exactly. And that was at Happy Valley, and they were still a drop play away. So
I
that's
said-
all.
We have to be ready to be the team that scores 30 points.
I don't even think we need to score 30 points. They went to Iowa and they scored 17. I think first to 20 wins.
The way they've played the last couple weeks suggests to me that we might need 30.
Against who? Against who? They went on the road. Look,
Against Penn State,
I
Larranz.
think our defense is comparable to Iowa. I don't think we're as good as Iowa, but I think it's pretty close. And I think our offense is way better.
Michigan State falling apart. Michigan
State falling
stall.
apart.
Michigan State
stall.
deserves
Iowa,
better
Nate
than this.
Stanley, what are you doing? Purdue, oh wait, they don't have a quarterback anymore. Maryland, Pittsburgh. Well,
you-
no, they kept it good. Buffalo,
Hey,
Idaho.
hey,
excuse me.
wait.
Jason,
So Griffin, are you seeing what I'm talking about right now? Do you
Yes.
see it?
That's why
Yes.
I said so. That's why I said ball control was number one thing. You saw against Maryland, we had the ball 43 minutes. They had it 17. We control the ball. We control the clock. They got no chance.
I don't even say that. I say if I do ball control in reverse, I'm like, if they want to score, they going to do 12, 13, 14 play drives all game. You going to take 8 minutes off that clock if you going to score on us. Because I'm not letting KJ beat us. I'm not letting that tight end beat us. If you going to beat us 13, 14 play drives, I have changed my prediction.
Look,
I
Larranz,
have changed it.
let's
I
just,
have changed it.
regardless what happens next week against Penn State, we can all laugh when they lose to Ohio State. Just saying.
I have changed my prediction.
Oh boy.
30-21. Penn State's still going to beat us.
Jesus, Larranz.
But I think it's going to be like they score like 27 in the first half, and then we come roaring back, and then Tanner throws an interception. Because
Not gonna lie, they had us in the first half.
not gonna lie, they had us in the first half. So yeah,
Jason?
that's
Yeah.
can we get in some hot takes?
Go ahead.
Larranz, you got anything?
What?
I just want to hear.
You want
I wanna hear you
You
first.
can't even start.
Hold on,
Oh.
I got some stuff.
okay.
Nobody else got stuff.
Oh, I got stuff. But
Man,
Man, let Wyatt have all the
Man,
hot
I'm just
takes.
watching this Georgia Southern game and Baylor games going on.
hot take. No, never mind. I used to have a hot take where it's like James Franklin is going to be the head coach at USC next year, but Penn State's freaking good. Hot take, we get, and this is for in the future, we get Caden Johnson, the #1 player of Minnesota, to commit to the Gophers.
Hot take, 2 teams take serious looks at PJ Fleck as their future head coach this year.
Who?
Michigan
Boy!
and USC.
Huh?
Huh?
And neither one draws him away from me.
Okay, that ain't a hot take. Because my entire thing is, what blue blood school would let him bring the frickin' row the boat thing and plaster it on everything? Imagine him going to Notre Dame and trying that crap. Go to Ohio State and put roll the boat up there and see what happens.
Hey, how long until Notre Dame joins a conference?
I mean, they are in an open relationship with the ACC right now, so...
Hot take. Notre Dame does not even get considered for the college football playoffs again until they join a conference.
Ooh!
I'm okay with that.
Ooh! Wait, hold up. That's a little bit spicy, Wyatt.
They lost 45-14 to a not that good Michigan team.
But, I mean, they barely lost to Georgia.
Hot
Do you
take.
think...
The SEC isn't as good as they look this year.
You think LSU ain't that good?
I think LSU is pretty good.
You think Bama ain't that good?
I think Bama's pretty good.
You telling me Florida don't got the best D-line in the... Okay, that's not named Ohio State in the country.
I'm telling you
You
that
really
Florida's
want
not
to
that
see-
good.
I would say the top...
And
half
I'm
of
telling
the
you that
SEC
Georgia is
bad.
certainly not that good.
Ooh, boy, what's gotten into you, Wyatt?
And I'll tell you what, I'm pissed that Auburn's in front of us.
Me too. They're 6-2. They have 2 losses. No one with 2 losses should be in front of someone that doesn't have any losses, regardless of who they play and how they want to justify it. The end.
Also, Baylor's ranked 12th, and they're also undefeated, and they're getting disrespected as well.
Yeah. Well, who cares about Baylor?
True.
Here's the thing. Baylor is playing in a weak Big 12.
Wait, now, hold up. We ain't played nobody with a winning record.
But we've
In the
played
Big
Big Ten powerhouse Illinois, Larranz.
Hey, don't
They
play
toppled Wisconsin, and then
Hey,
they
they
beat
got-
Purdue.
Wait, and they got real close to Michigan. Ooh, they
Wait,
got
hold on,
real
hold on.
close.
How many winnable games does Illinois have left?
Oh, Illinois has Rutgers next to win a 5th game, and then they end the season at home against Northwestern.
Wow.
So
Oh
they could
my
go
God,
bowling.
Illinois can make a bowl game.
Illinois can make a bowl. Illinois can finish the season based off of their schedule positioned higher in the West than Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Did you see that
Larranz, I got a
article?
question for you.
Oh, go ahead.
What?
Since you're the one who's going to fight me on this the most.
Why do you think I'm gonna fight you?
Let's say that the Gophers go 13-0.
We're going to the playoffs.
Okay, so that's where you stand?
Yeah. No, it's not a if. If you go
You think-
13-0, which means you have to go through this generational Ohio State. Yes, we're going to the playoffs, and it's not close.
Is it mostly because Oklahoma lost?
No, it's because you're a 13-0 Big Ten champion.
All right.
It doesn't matter who's on it, because our schedule, you know who is harder than? Bama's. You know
Who
whose
is
schedule
number
is easier
14?
than ours?
Who is the number 14? Who do you take fourth?
to LSU. This is what would happen. Alabama's new. Minnesota would be number 3, and then I think LSU would be number 4.
Because they lost to Bama.
I mean, Nick Saban has more national championships than he has home losses. So, yeah.
So what happens in the, as you put it, unlikely scenario that LSU wins the SEC?
That's hard. I don't know. This hurts my brain. I give up.
I think Alabama's still 4 there, and then we see Alabama win the.
It's possible, but again, we still got 5 more weeks, man.
There's a lot of football left.
Cool. Wait, here's my last scenario. Would you rather beat? Would you rather have a guaranteed victory in the West and lose to Wisconsin? Or
second one. The second one. The second one. The second one.
Would you rather Iowa beats Wisconsin, we lose to Iowa, but we beat Wisconsin, and Iowa goes to the Big Ten championship? Wow. Wow.
The second one every day.
I'll take the first one.
Hold on. The second one puts us back in the all-time lead for the Axe.
That is true.
True, but
What matters more to you, Jason?
I want to go to Indy and then get slaughtered by Ohio State and go to Pasadena. Sorry,
Anyway.
I cut off.
Now I'm leaving.
Well, thank you to all of our fans listening to Open Podcast tonight.
Any last things we got to do, Jason?
West Virginia just scored a touchdown, 83 yards.
Jason. Is Jason dead?
Wait, can we at least list the top 10 wins of the Scott Frost era? Oh, wait. He doesn't even have
Michigan's. Dig. I was going to say his best win is Michigan State without their starting quarterback, their starting running back, their starting 2 wide receivers, their starting 3 starting offensive linemen at home in the snow, to which he won 9-6. I think that is his best victory.
I don't know. What about Bethune-Cookman? They're a real powerhouse.
Hey, don't mock Bethune-Cookman. They put them hands on you. Okay? You remember when South Alabama had more yards than Nebraska?
Remember when Scott Frost didn't put in a player that shouldn't be in?
And now he's gone because duh.
Yeah.
And remember when he had that player in and it literally made no difference anyway?
And remember when he made a comment about wearing hoodies while he was wearing a hoodie?
And remember when he always blames his players for the fact that he can't... Nope, I ain't going... Yes, I am. Remember when he blames his players for the fact that he had a crappy coaching plan, while PJ Fleck always blames himself whenever our team loses, but people say that PJ Fleck is the self-absorbed one?
All right, thanks for tuning
in. That's all, folks.
That's it. I think Jason might be dead.
Jason?
Do you not hear me?
Jason?
Oh, there he is. He's back.
He did.
Oh, Jason, are you alive?
Oh, he did.
Oh, crap. Jason's gone.
He's there.
He's there. But
Can you not hear me?
Though. Jason, this is spooky. Say something.
Spoopy season.
Say something. I'm giving up on you.
I don't know. This Georgia Southern. Ooh, 24/7, baby. Let's keep it rolling. 13 minutes.
Georgia Southern, please do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it
8
for Gopher
undefeated
Nation.
teams.
Do it for Gopher Nation, please. We beg of you.
We're not going to let him end Open Podcast episode 20-something. I don't actually know what episode this is.
Episode 20. Hi, I'm the ghost of Jason. Hi, I'm Lor- Hi,
The
I'm
ghost
Lor-
of Jason is perfect for spooky podcast.
Spooky Podcast. Hi, I'm Larranz. Please, for the love of God, win the game of the century, Minnesota. Please, Guider.